ऐसे बनते हैं R.A.S. Topper books 6th chapter Understanding the structure of the R.A.S. exam. Before entering the state level competition of this exam, it is essential to understand why it is termed a competitive exam. In contrast, exams in schools and universities are simply called tests. What is the system of this competitive exam? What considerations were taken into account while designing this exam? What is its structure? What is its character? It is crucial to understand its pattern deeply. We can achieve quick success through hard work by accurately grasping this pattern. Without understanding its nature, attaining desired success will prove to be a distant dream. I say this because I know many candidates who repeatedly participate in this battle without fully understanding the nature of the exam, only to face disappointment instead of success. I also know a candidate who has appeared for the IAS interview 5 times and the RAS interview 5 times, but has not been selected for either. Consider the following structure. These three histograms show first histogram pre-exam, second main exam and third interview. This exam consists of 3 phases. These 3 phases are like 3 concrete walls. They are 3 obstacles that must be overcome to become an RAS. Each candidate showcases their skills to navigate these barriers. There are 2 ways to get to the other side of these walls. First, break the wall. Second, jump over the wall. Most candidates, without recognizing the character of this exam, choose the second method, that is jumping over, to cross over and achieve success. Candidates must discover for themselves that the second path is simpler and quicker. They also need to identify and employ the best techniques for jumping. Those who succeed on their first attempt are those who effectively use the most suitable techniques to leap over these wall-like exams. I have seen many candidates struggle for years, hoping for success in this exam. The Tok Fatak area in Jaipur has become an island for students preparing for the RAS. Some candidates reach the pinnacle of success from here, but most students fail to recognize the true character of this exam and either get lost in obscurity or are compelled to turn to other services after considerable struggle. The RAS exam is not an impregnable fortress. Yes, it is indeed difficult, but with the right understanding and appropriate strategy, success can certainly be attained. To succeed in the RAS exam, knowledge is required along with the skills and proficiency that enhance how you present your knowledge. I emphasize skill because by developing this ability, an ordinary student can also succeed in this competitive exam. Solid evidence of this comes from my study of successful RAS officers. Although most of the RAS officers recruited directly, 83%, are first division graduates, the remaining 17% are second and third division graduates. Many toppers and first division graduates appear for this competitive exam without understanding its character or adapting themselves to the exam's requirements. Such candidates, despite being first division graduates, fail here, and surprisingly, they do not reflect on their repeated failures. I want to present this book as an inspiration, guide, and catalyst through the immortal words of Abraham Lincoln. He said, "If you give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'll spend the first 4 sharpening my axe." This statement is very instructive. It would be best if you spent most of your time sharpening your axe. This requires unwavering patience, steadfast motivation, and immense endurance. In such a situation, this book will serve as your best companion. Lincoln implies that working hard or working more is not as important as working in the right way and with the right techniques. If you sharpen your axe before chopping down a tree, you will cut more wood in 2 hours than you would in 6 hours of continuous work without a sharp axe. This means that there are aspects beyond studying that are equally important. How competitive exams differ from other exams. Now, let's explore what ultimately defines a competitive exam and sets it apart from other types of examinations. Selection system. This critical characteristic of competitive exams distinguishes them from all college level examinations. In college, exams are based on a pass-fail system. If you score above the minimum marks, your year will be deemed successful and you will advance to the next class. Gradually, by passing these exams, you will eventually obtain a degree. However, competitive exams do not operate in this manner. They do not follow a simple pass-fail mechanism. Instead, the principle of selection applies here. The number of candidates to be selected is predetermined. There are no minimum marks set for selection in competitive exams, unlike college exams, where minimum marks are required to pass. Competitive exams are conducted for specific posts and the final results declare the candidates selected based on merit. Corresponding to the number of posts available, you could achieve more than 60% in the exam but still not be selected simply because those who were selected scored higher than you. Consequently, you would have to go through the entire examination process again. This exam is genuinely a competition where each candidate stands against one another. Your success can lead to someone else's failure and vice versa. In a competitive exam, your success can disqualify a candidate who scores less than you, regardless of their overall percentage, if your marks meet the cut-off. In contrast, in college exams, one student's success doesn't affect another's outcome. Each student aims to achieve at least the minimum marks required to pass, independent of others. In school and college exams, one student can pass while all others do as well. However, this is not the case in competitive exams. Only as many candidates will pass or be selected as there are posts available. Thus, regardless of their scores, only those candidates will be declared successful who fit within the number of posts for which the exam was held. The RPSC exam is competitive. Here, each candidate struggles against others to advance. Every candidate runs in a race where each one strives to outpace the others. I would like to clarify this situation through a metaphor presented by Christopher McDougall in his book Born to Run, so you can better understand the mindset needed to conquer the RPSC. Christopher McDougall writes, every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows it must outrun the fastest lion or it will be killed. Every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the slowest gazelle or it will starve. It doesn't matter whether you are a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you would better be running. This exact scenario applies to students taking the R.A.S exam. Whether you are a lion or a gazelle, you must run to win. You must run faster than others. For the lion, it is about food, and for the gazelle, it is about survival. Both are fighting for existence. It is a do or die situation. You need a special capability akin to a killer instinct to thrive in this competition. Thus, the preparation methodology for this exam definitely changes. Complex and mixed process. Academic exams up to the undergraduate level have a different character. For example, when I passed my undergraduate exam in agriculture science, all the students were from the agriculture faculty. We had no competition with students from engineering, arts, commerce, medical, management, etc. Their performance did not impact whether we passed or failed. The instructors were the same. The books were identical, the curriculum was uniform, and the facilities were similar. Essentially, everything in college exams was straightforward, clear and simple. On the other hand, the RS exam conducted by the RPSC is neither straightforward, nor clear, nor simple. This exam is akin to a great Mahabharata battle where numerous subject armies clash. It resembles the Indian Ocean, where various rivers representing different subjects converge after covering their respective distances. In this competition, candidates come from diverse backgrounds such as science, commerce, arts, engineering, management, law, medical, CA, etc. Each with varying levels of education, mental aptitude, study materials, and social environments. Yet, they all have to solve the same questions. The RPS is indifferent to their differences. It only looks at your scores and announces whether you have been selected. Your competition is not just limited to candidates from your field, but extend to all candidates from all disciplines. Your success depends not only on your preparation, but also on how well the other candidates participating in the exam prepare. You can score 54% in 1 year and not get selected. Conversely, you might score 50% the following year and get selected. This is why this exam demands that you give your best. Merely completing the course is not sufficient to pass. Selection process. Your selection process is not limited to you alone. There are many runners in this race. The runner who surpasses others wins. This means that the performance of other competitors directly and clearly affects your chances of success. The RS examination system operates on the principle of outpacing one another. The best wrestler emerges victorious in the competition. In other words, you must possess enough strength and capability to overcome your competitors. Now, you should understand what is required for you to pass this exam. Once this becomes clear, it will also be evident that you need to change your study and preparation strategy. The approach used for school or college exams will not work here. It is also a challenging task to change the study and preparation methods that you have been using for the past 15 years, as these methods have become deeply ingrained in your brain. Over these 15 years, permanent neural paths related to your reading, thinking, writing, and speaking have formed in your brain. In other words, these have become your established habits. Neuroscience studies have now proven that these neural paths can be altered through a continuous process of conscious efforts, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. Psychological studies have also demonstrated that change in a person can occur with consistent effort over at least 21 days. Therefore, you can modify your methods of reading, writing, thinking, and speaking to meet the demands of this exam, which has been scientifically validated. It only requires your conscious and sustained efforts. Broad scope. This exam is open to graduates from all over Rajasthan. Graduates from outside the state can also participate, but primarily students from Rajasthan take part. However, the educational level varies across districts and regions within Rajasthan. Students from Jaipur, Jodhpur, and Ajmer receive a better educational environment compared to those from other districts. The facilities available to candidates from urban areas are not accessible to all students from rural backgrounds. Schools operate under different boards, and there is a variation in the quality of education among various universities. There are also significant differences in the study levels of students across different faculties. Thus, the comprehensive nature of this exam leads to a multitude of factors influencing it. This complex and mixed character of the exam presents a serious challenge for candidates. Therefore, aspirants preparing for the RS exam should develop their strategies while considering all these factors so that success can be made easier and more certain.